So the idea is, since 2026, we've had a lot of changes in the networking sector. That is the switches, we have access points, we have so much on networking, and that's what we're going to go through this presentation right now. So I have this video you can play all about HIKVISION networking.
HIKVISION's networking products cover a full range of wired and wireless devices. HIKVISION integrates industry-leading methods like capacity maturity model, integrated product development, and Six Sigma to build a unique R&D system, refining every detail to deliver reliable performance. Quality is never a coincidence. It's the result of continuous improvement. In our multi-dimensional testing system, we replicate every extreme condition found in real-world applications, creating a series of challenging checkpoints that our products must pass. First, in our environmental lab, we subject products to a range of harsh conditions, from extreme high and low temperatures to water exposure, vibrations, icing, and salt fog. Each test ensures that our products remain stable, no matter the environment. Next, our electromagnetic compatibility (EMC) lab takes on the challenge of complex electromagnetic issues. Here, we perform interference and immunity tests, ensuring that our devices always maintain clear and stable communication. Then, our RF lab steps in, conducting RF certification tests, RF conformance tests, and OTA tests. These ensure that our devices deliver outstanding wireless performance. Following that, the anti-interference lab simulates various wireless interference scenarios to validate the reliability of our devices. Finally, our extreme pressure lab guarantees that our products remain stable and reliable under maximum stress. With innovation paving the way and testing ensuring our quality, our production system delivers efficiency and reliability. To turn this production capacity into reliable products, we ensure every manufacturing process meet our uncompromising standards. High-speed automatic surface mounting and reflow soldering ensure firm welding of every component at high temperatures. The automated optical inspection, AOI, provides dual-sided simultaneous scanning, comprehensively guaranteeing flawless soldering quality. We use automatic printed circuit board distributors to reduce human errors and improve efficiency and yield. Combined with functional tests, they ensure every PCBA is of top quality. Assembly brings components to life through intelligent automation. Flexible production lines, combined with safety and functional testing, ensure both security and reliability. From precision R&D to extreme testing, and then to intelligent manufacturing, each networking device embodies our understanding and commitment to connection. HIKVISION's networking product line, anchored by technology and built on quality, safeguards the stability and security of every crucial communication.
Okay, so you see the idea of how powerful HIKVISION is in production and how serious we take our product testing. So we target SMB in IoT and networking projects, where we look at quite a huge scope, but where is your core business or target customers? These are customers who have network cameras, customers with video intercom, customers with access control. We have audio, we have NVRs and alarms. The one highlight is when you look at NVRs and cameras, the bandwidth requirement is quite huge. So this gives us an idea of what HIKVISION can offer to make that level of training. Okay. So in essence, we look at a visual full cycle of networking solutions, and we provide these links in LinkVu, starting from the design phase, the deployment phase, and then finally we look at the delivery phase, where we do maintenance after you deploy this. And the catalog covers smart managed switches, we have wireless bridges, access points, we have smart managed routers, wireless routers. All this we use the HIK Partner Pro to give us the unified management and maintenance for HIKVISION networking. So some of the challenges that installers would face on a daily basis includes pre-sales. It's very hard for them to quote to the clients. Then also design the solution and tell the client, okay, this will be the output. If you think about configuration, most of the time you would have to go for that certification, that professional certification, because before you can even be in a position to even tell that we are networking, we can configure your router, we can configure your switch and all that. Then if you look at the current trend, everyone is adopting technology on networking, but we still have a very big gap in our space. So that is why we have HIKVISION building these simplified solutions for installers and technicians. So in terms of designing and quoting, you are not an expert, no problem. We'll help you you can upload your floor plan and set up the networking, create a visible heat map, camera heat map, then generate a quote from HIKVISION, straight from HIK Partner Pro. So if you don't have HIK Partner Pro, I guess you already have an idea of what you're already missing. Then when you think about deployment, everything is done on HIK Partner Pro. Just like we have the cycle starting from, sorry, let me allow these guys in. We have more who are joining in, so we also have to allow them into the training so that we share the same. So when you look at the deployment part, we have starting from preparation, doing the networking part of it. Then we have initializing the devices, that is configuring the passwords, then setting up the Wi-Fi. Ideally, networking also would focus on Wi-Fi. Then we have networking and IoT devices. Then we also have showing all devices on cloud topology and start configuration. So this would help. So for instance, this client has 57 devices, but it takes just 3 minutes to do the configuration. Convenient, right? So you can even take up multiple sites. So after deploying, you just do configuration. Then we look at one-click configuration for key networking functions, things like STP, loop prevention, extending the network, port mirroring, link aggregation. So all these are functions that you'll get from HIKVISION networking products, and easy, quick to configure. Then if you think about complicated functions, we have things like VIP device, VIP link, global VLANs, and all that we can configure with HIKVISION on HIK Partner Pro. So why do I put emphasis on network VIP? You may want the CEO to have a higher bandwidth than the other employees, so you can do that configuration straight from HIK Partner Pro. Then we have cloud managed switches. Now we're looking at version 2 and the features. So one of the features is global VLANs. So we have a wizard, best network VLAN setup with auto classification for surveillance VLANs, replacing manual per switch configuration. So instead of configuring for every switch, we do global VLANs. Then we have the second part, VIP network. Then we have analog camera topology. So now we can even visualize the DVR. So it doesn't necessarily have to be the IP one. So we can also visualize the DVR. Yeah. Sorry, I'm just trying to set up something. Okay. Then we have third-party camera recognition. So we have other brands that we can do detection, even build their topology on their network. The idea is just they support these standard networking protocols, which we also support, and we can match that. Then now let's think about the deployment part. So we have AR port information display. So that's like an augmented reality on port information display. So in the second quarter of this year, we'll definitely be having that so that we can virtually know which port. I can even make it blink a different color what I want to see. Then we have automated network delivery report that you can also push to your end user. Then we have easy links, all in view. Maintenance. So before, it was very hard to do maintenance because you can't tell what is the networking status. But right now, from the HIK Partner Pro, you can see the topology, you can see which port has an issue. You can even remotely reboot, change Wi-Fi passwords and all that. So the idea is we give you a link free. The cloud platform is free. You don't have to pay for it. You just view once the whole topology, then it's easy to link. You can hand over by transferring or by sharing. What do I mean by that? After you've completed the project with HIKVISION networking products, you can directly just transfer everything to the end user and then they manage. But when you share, it means maybe you have an arrangement on maintenance, so you come up with this and then they can help support you. Then viewing anytime, anywhere. So we have remote configuration on the cloud managed platform. Then we have more than 100 networking core technologies that we employ, things like storm control, cloud management, NAT traversal, LLDP, access lists, DHCP snooping, parental control. So whichever the protocols, we can discuss this and share. If you've not seen my videos, you maybe need to go and look for me online and see. I've done some videos on networking products and other HIKVISION products at large. Then now let's look at SOHO networking. So simple setup, we look at router, Wi-Fi system, the mesh, we have 4G routers, Wi-Fi extenders and adapters, then we have the SOHO switch. So all of them actually support HIK Partner Pro. So we have the Wi-Fi router, the WR30, WR15, WR18. Then we have Wi-Fi 5 routers, Wi-Fi 4 routers. Then we also have the mesh Wi-Fi system. We also have the 4G routers. So for cases where you don't have an ISP, you can get the 4G router, put in a SIM card. We have some multiple 4G bands that we support. So you can definitely use that to do your networking. Then we have SOHO switches. So we have metallic and PoE also. Then we also have 100 Mbps and gigabit switches. Then also desktop plastic switches for simple network extension. So how do you select a Wi-Fi router? Give suggestions. What is the limitation? Which projects will need access points and which projects would need routers? So you can just give your suggestions and ideas, and then we can review on the same. But I can also give you suggestions. So let's say to select a Wi-Fi router, it depends how many users you have at home or in the enterprise that you want to use or the building that you want to use. It could be that you also think about what is the limitation. So let's say we have a 300 Mbps router, the N3, 300. Then we have the 1 Gbps, we have the 3 Gbps. So why do you decide which one is good for you? So it's based on the usage and the target type of work. Maybe you want a router to do streaming, so we'll definitely need the higher bandwidth router. But just for basic use, like receiving messages, sending messages, you go for the lower router. Then for projects like enterprise where you need to control multiple access points, then that's when we go for access points and routers. Then now some highlights. Why HIKVISION Mesh? So you may come to cases where you have multiple walls and you want a signal to be strong in every room. So you may consider doing multiple wireless access points, multiple routers, and then they interconnect. So the idea is we want to give you an easy home setup that you don't need to get a professional to do the setup. We want to give you true seamless roaming. We want to do a network that automatically detects that there is an issue with this frequency, change to the next, like that. Then you have parental control, things like adding a child profile so that when they connect, it gives them that restriction. You can also be time-based limitation. It could also be you working on internet time. Maybe in a day they just allowed maximum of 1 hour online, so they can only use that. Then the products that we use support HIK Connect and HIK Partner Pro. So HIK Connect is for the general network overview and quick optimization. Then HIK Partner Pro is for installers and ISPs. So they can see the topology, do configuration, VLAN reconfiguration, and network diagnosis. So we're giving tools for both the end user and service providers. Then let's spotlight some of the functions. The AX3000 and AX1800 Wi-Fi 6 wireless routers. So highlights, we have like the 5G and 2.4G frequencies. Then we have 5 antennas on the routers. We have one Ethernet gigabit WAN port and 3 gigabit LAN port. So this delivers gigabit speeds. Then we also think about the mesh system. And in the mesh system, we have a seamless network covering the entire home, where we interconnect the mesh antennas, giving you a wider coverage. Then we have the 4G router. So on the 4G router, we look at Wi-Fi 4 and Wi-Fi 5 options. Of course, Wi-Fi 4 would be cheaper. Then we have plug and play, multiple working modes. So the 4G router can also work as a normal router. So we have all that variation. Then we have Wi-Fi extenders like WRE12C, DS-3WR, E12C. Then we have easily pair with the HIKVISION router. It gives you intelligent signal indication. And then it's possible to connect both wireless and wired ability. It can work with any brand of routers, so not necessarily Vision. If you want to extend your network, you can also get a HIKVISION extender. We also have the Wi-Fi adapter for PCs and computers that don't support Wi-Fi. You plug in and then you're able to connect to Wi-Fi. Then you have now multiple switches, the SOHO switch with plastic casing and metallic casing. So the idea on switches is we have multiple adaptivity on bandwidth. We have self-adaption on 1000 Mbps. We have the gigabit. Then we have silent operation. So the fanless design. Then we have plug and play ideas. And also the mounting. We have desk wall mounting options. So we have these types. Then now let's look at more professional networking. Now where we think about access points, smart managed routers. Now you see the management aspect comes in at this level for our routers. So it's a scenario-based networking solution design. So for instance, we have we need to identify the prerequisites like at VIP office, the working public area, reception. Of course, all of them will have different requirements. Like The entrance outdoor area will require outdoor access points. Maybe the reception will need the guest Wi-Fi option. Public work area will need a high bandwidth. Then you have meeting rooms which also require high bandwidth. VIP will need maybe dedication. So we can also consider, like in the working area, to do things like VLANs, because maybe people are working in groups and they need to access specific resources. So this is our idea of networking that will change. So we have in the VIP room, we give them the wall AP. This wall AP has a network port and it has Wi-Fi broadcasting. We have maybe in the meeting room, we give the ceiling access point. In the general public work area, we also give the ceiling access point. Outside, we give the outdoor access point. If you've not seen the video I've done on the outdoor access point, just check my social media at Zephania Mwando or at Mwando the Boss, and you'll see I've done a recording on the newest access point for outdoor, which is quite robust and giving us best transmission. Then with your access points, they enter to the switch, the access switch. So let's say your network is very huge. You can have multiple access switches connecting to the core switch. So the core switch will put together everything and then push to the gateway router, which now goes to the internet. So the internet is received from the gateway router. A highlight on our gateway router is we can get internet from multiple ISPs. So if one ISP is down, we still have our network working much efficiently. Then we have HIK Partner Pro managing this network. Of course, if you don't know, HIK Partner Pro is available on mobile, but you can also use the web version. So it's a purely cloud managed solution. Then you have the traditional SMB security solution, CCTV, and networking, the value series. So we give you one project, double profit. So you can get so much. Combine CCTV, access control, video intercom with the HIKVISION network, and then you access all this from one platform. I think in terms of unified management, we already hit the solution. So let's look at the series. We have two variations. Ceiling AP, in-wall AP, multiple Wi-Fi 6 with 1.2G or 1200 Mbps ceiling option, and the in-wall AP, also 1200 Mbps with Wi-Fi 6. Then we have the outdoor AP, AX3 and 3000 outdoor with even SFP port. So this is the one I've done a video on, so you can stay tuned and watch that. Then we have 100 users, we get 8 AP. And then 200 users, we get 16 AP. So it's based on the size of the network. You understand the quality of the network is based on distance, how wide, and the total number of users that need to access. Then we have wireless LAN networking mode solution. So we have three options. The gateway mode, where we just receive internet and every device works as its own internet gateway. We get the AC controller with a built-in router. Then we also have the bypass mode, where you already have an existing router, but we get our AC on the network to manage your networking devices. Then you have the cloud AP mode, where every AP just goes to Connect directly. The gateway mode, we definitely need the AC. So it depends on the size. So gateway mode, maximum 250 clients, 16 APs. Bypass mode, maximum 250 clients, 64 APs. Then cloud AP, we recommend maybe maximum of 20 APs. Then in terms of budget friendly, we try to provide a solution that will give you software AC solution and hardware AC solution. So based on your needs, we can match. Then we have a lifetime free HIKVISION Cloud that would support this. Through some competing companies offer cloud services, they charge for them, but we give you a purely free cloud managed service. Then we have easy delivery. So with easy delivery, looking at networking, AP plug and play. So you just connect and then do the configuration through After connecting the devices, so that is doing the wiring, you just open HIK Partner Pro, quickly batch activate the APIs, create a unique password for them, then create a site. So that is, if I'm deploying for customer X, let's say you're deploying for HIKVISION Kenya, you create a site, HIKVISION Kenya. If you're creating maybe for me, Zef, you create a site called Zef as your client, you the installer. Then after you've done the configuration, you hand over to me and I receive that on HIK Connect. Then now we have the networking product family. So we have that variation. Business networking, where we can do switches. That is core switches, aggregation switch, and layer 3 aggregation switch, and layer 2 plus access switch. Then you have the smart managed switches, both the EI, SI, and HI. So that is smart managed gigabit switches. Then we have unmanaged switches, of course, the family of gigabit and 1000 rate. Then we have the industrial switches. Definitely, we have the wireless bridges. We also have the mesh Wi-Fi system. We have, that is on SOHO. Wi-Fi routers, mesh Wi-Fi, 4G routers, Wi-Fi extenders, adapters, SOHO switches. Then we have unified IoT network management. So we look at HIK Partner Pro for installers, and then HIK Connect for end users. Then we give you a unified solution for networking and IoT. IoT, I mean our other products like cameras, alarms, security inspection, decoders, so much from HIKVISION. Then let's look at LinkVu series switch families. So we look at the EI switches. They mainly deliver 100 Mbps with low power budget. Also option for full power budget and gigabit option also, low power and full power budget. Then the SI switches now are used for access and aggregation. EI is only access. SI series, access and aggregation. If you don't know aggregation, it's just when you have multiple switches that converge into one higher performing switch. Then we have aggregation again, where we look at the enhanced function, ideal for mid-sized networks with high demand for network management. Now, the HI series, so look, EI series is access, SI giving you less than or equivalent to 150 IoT devices. But when you look at HI series, that is the core and aggregation level, we have 150 to 600 devices, now higher than SI.
Where we have now the 4G,
10G routers with SFP plus and all those options. Then now we look at the industrial grade switches. Here we're looking at high temperature tolerance, outdoor water and dust resistance kind of switches, even with the ability to be powered with the solar. So here we have also a variety of products in the same. So in our content, we have covered business networking products. We looked at switches, wireless bridges, and access points. Then we also looked at SOHO networking products. That's the routers, Wi-Fi system, 4G routers. We have Wi-Fi extenders. We have SOHO switches and all that. Now, looking at unmanaged switches, smart managed switches, enterprise campus switches, and industrial switches, we can compare the different levels. So the lowest is SOHO, then we go to unmanaged, where we have both have 5, 8, and 16, also 24 port options. Then we have 100 Mbps and gigabit options. Then we have now the EI, giving us also the same but just higher capacity. Then we have SI. Also, if you compare with special series like industrial switches, we also have the same categories. Sorry, just small interruption. Okay. So then we have the high HI, fully managed switches. Actually, on SI, we had an add-on of 48 port switch. Then now HI, we have 24 and 48 ports, 10 GSFP.
Then
you have the campus switch, which is layer 3 full managed core switches. Now here we're looking at the modular. You need maybe 96 ports. We give you a switch that can cover with different cards, maybe fiber. Then you have aggregation and access for enterprise business. Then we have a naming rule for our switches. So any HIKVISION product will definitely have a naming rule. So we also comply to this so that we can understand which product is that. So usually we start with DS, which stands for all any HIKVISION product will be a DS product. Then you have conventional and industrial switch. Then you have smart managed layer 2 and layer 3. So the third value will stand for that. Then you have the capacity in terms of bandwidth. Then you have 13577. 7 is now a 10G switch or gigabit mixed ports. Then you have the actual port number, like the 5 is now this 12 is actual ports. Then now we have number 6 standing for the product type. It could be normal, it could be optical and electrical. So optical meaning fiber and PoE ports or network ports. Then you have the P standing for PoE switch. Then you have PoE and HP for high PoE. So you understand PoE is 802.83 AT. High PoE is 802.3 BT. It's more on the power that port would output. Then you have D, plastic casing. Then you have some level, that is the E, S, and H for entry, smart project products, and then the premium. Then I means it's a smart managed switch. We look at the LinkVu technology. Then now we look at the ports. So we have P, T, gigabit port, F1G, X10G. So this is the unmanaged switch family. So one highlight is we'll get PoE power supply, we'll get surge protection on these switches, we'll get high PoE power supply, we'll get long distance transmission, we'll get the watchdog. So the watchdog function is to monitor the ports. Then you have one-click port isolation. Then you have some key features on the switches. So just breaking down what I just highlighted, like the 6 kilowatts power surge protection, in case we have issues with the power. Then the watchdog. We have high PoE. We have long distance transmission. So let's compare the long distance. Remember, long distance transmission is influenced by the cable. It's also influenced by the camera capacity. And then we compare the different ranges. So for instance, the 1 series camera with Cat 5 or Cat 6, we can compare. We have the range of 200 and 220 to 20 meters. Then you have 2 series, Cat 5E and Cat 6. We have 250 meters and 300 meters. 3 series, more or less the same as 2 series. Then you have the 7 series giving us 250 and even 300 meters. So remember, the cable I'm talking about is pure copper cable. Cat 6 will give us better performance. Remember, the thicker the cable, the better the conduction and transmission of power. So HIKVISION also gives you these cables. Then now let's compare LinkVu. So we had looked at the different variation, EI, SI, and HI switches. So this is a highlight on smart managed switches. So these are the smart managed connecting to the phone on the same network, configuring with the HIK Partner Pro. Things like batch activation of devices, adding to a site, then you do delivery after configuring. So this is what you build. One site. Look at the topology. quickly preview the use of bandwidth consumption. I see some comment or comments. So the first ones were about echo. Then we have just reciting the catalog. Why we have to go through the catalog is for everyone to understand what products we have. Then we can come up with different scenarios based on your case. And this we can also help you with setting that up. Because we look at different scenarios having different requirements, but us understanding the big picture of the whole product catalog would help us to actually come out with solutions and products that would work for that. So maybe we can set up a session that would focus on different scenarios, and I would require you to also send us your requirements, and then we can analyze together. Then we compare the smart managed EI, SI, and HI switch families. So we have variation with 16, 24 port POEs. Then we have for the project market, we have SI and HI. So we have that variation. Then now we look at the enterprise campus switch. So we have the core switches with 2 MPUs, 6 LPUs, and 2 power supply units, the redundant power supply. We have the aggregation level switches. You'll take note of 410G SFP plus ports available on the aggregation switch. Then we have on the access switch, we have 2G SFP ports. Then you compare the optical modules that we give. We have LC, single mode fiber with 20 kilometers coming as a pair. Then we have this other SFP 1 kilometer multi-mode, single mode duplex fiber 20 kilometers. So we have all this variation on SFP, but remember, the choice choosing an SFP, you just need to see, is it a transmitter, is it a receiver, or is it both? And what is the frequency that is transmitting or receiving? Sorry, I have a comment that I have echo. Let me try to see what is causing that. Just hold on. Oh, I see. I believe right now the echo is gone. Okay. Sorry about that. So let's proceed. So that variation. Then we have industrial switch family. So we have unmanaged switches. We have smart managed switches. We even have the flat switch. So based on the use case, again, we can decide which switch to go for. So think about the application case for industrial switch family. We have perimeter protection. So maybe you're doing an outdoor cabinet. We're doing the factory. We're doing warehouses and the door. And some highlights you'll see is we have the DIN rail mount where we put the power supply and the switch on the rail. And then we have the interference protection at instant failover. Most of the time they'll come with redundant power supply for that case. Then we have other advanced networking like VLANs, QoS, that's quality of service. They have CLI and SNMP for monitoring the health of the switch. Then looking at this cloud managed switch, we have the 4 high PoE ports, industrial power supply of 75, 240 and 480 watts based on the variation that it supports. Then now let's look at the wireless bridges. So on the wireless bridges, we have this variation. Number one, we have in the lift. So in the lift, if you don't want to do cables, actually we recommend not doing cables. We can give you these two access points. A 200-meter wireless bridge, and then the 500-meter. So they will give you PoE. So that means this will pair the one installed on the lift car would power the camera, and then the one installed on the shaft would also go to the network, so you can wirelessly transmit. They will always come as a pair. Then you have, for outdoor series, you have the 3 kilometers, 5 kilometer, 15 to 20 kilometer variation, also multi-port with 5 kilometer and 3 standard PoE out. So for outdoor settings. Then you have base station and antennas, so the variation. And one thing we want to highlight is HIKVISION gives you a high capacity, almost 1G. That's 867 Mbps for all the access points. So that's better than most competitor products. Then some key features, the reliable design. So it does outdoor, IP55 weatherproof, and negative 30 to 70 degrees. That's quite a huge temperature range with even UV protection. So for cases where you cannot pull cables, you can consider going for the wireless access points. Then you have, for the lift, they have standard PoE input-output, which means it can power the camera also on the lift. Then you have the cloud management aspect with spectrum scanning, so it can check which frequency has good, less interference and good quality of signal, then it switches to that. Then you have 4G multi-port PoE wireless bridge. So this is for the outdoor, so it can be connected, powered, and then it powers your cameras on the outdoor. So no need for an extra switch, and then it transmits 5 kilometer again with 867 Mbps. Of course, these cameras are not going to output that. Then you have typical application for outdoor, like for forest fire prevention, for construction fields, maybe remote areas where we cannot pull cables. Then installation and configuration. So here are the variations on the different access points and distance. So you see, like 200 meters, we have 30 Mbps, we have 80, 90 Mbps. 500 meters, we also have a variation. So it goes that way. We have 1 kilometer. One thing you'll notice when you're doing long range distance, the bandwidth also reduces. So like we can do 20 Mbps. So that means also whatever you're connecting also varies. So this is a quick preview. So we have the HIKVISION integrated networking solution guide. So I would like to complete here because of time. And we can also leave our comments, questions in the chat, or even raise the questions, and we're able to reply and sort out the issues. But we look at the cloud AP solution being the typical setup solution for us and our management bit. So look at that configuration on HIK Partner Pro. View the connections, do the management, things like rebooting of an access point, which saves again on time, because you don't necessarily have to go to that site unless something is purely offline. So I'll be able to share this presentation. For those who registered for the training, I'll just pick your emails and share a summary of this presentation so that we also get an understanding of how this works.
on our
own we go through the materials.
So
that brings us to the end. The end of our training. So you're welcome to ask any questions if you have, or just write in the chat, and I'll be able to respond. So about scenario based, we're going to come here. We have something called HIK Talks. So when we arrange this, you're welcome to come and join, and then you can learn about the networking products. Then we also talk about what is your scenarios, what can be done to fix this and also improve the quality of output that you will give on your networking. So thank you so much for attending this training, and let's stay tuned for more in HIKVISION networking products and solutions. So this training, as it was going on, I had some questions. I believe I've answered all of them. And since we don't have any more, I think we can exit the training. Thank you so much for your time, and have a good day.